Because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Hasn't the last 80 days or so just been a blast, a super fun ride? I literally feel like my head is about to topple off from the insanity. Don't you feel the same way? I mean, just look at these headlines. Utter chaos. Republicans are agents of chaos, led by their orange Caligula. They will do anything in service to him, no matter what it costs the people whom they are paid to represent. My name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. Millions of us are set to lose our Medicaid in the next few weeks if Republicans get their $4.5 trillion tax cuts for billionaires. The Trump regime has more than doubled the price of products from China in this up and down trade war that he's pulling off. So the iPhone that I was saving for is now unaffordable. Medical science and research has come to a screeching halt under Republicans, yet the MAGA cult are clapping wildly along with dear leader, although some of them did seem to be slightly bothered by the cleanouts of their retirement accounts when he was tanking the market on any given day. Hammy writes, I voted for you, but at 60 years old and my first year after retirement, your policy is killing me. Everything I've worked for just keeps dwindling away. So disappointing that you're banking everything for the future and screwing me and my family. Maureen writes, the market is absolutely tanking. How could you do this to the people who voted for you? I'm actually terrified to wake up tomorrow and see if I have any retirement left, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody else writes, I've worked all my life just to put away a few bucks for retirement. Less than you probably spend in a day. Well, that's for damn sure. Voted for you. Now you want to take the pittance I worked my entire life to save. And then Craig Smith puts, I voted for you 3 times. But I'm completely appalled at what your self-inflicted tariffs are doing to senior retirement accounts. We can't afford this recession, spelled incorrectly, that you're throwing the USA into. You know what? I don't doubt for a minute, though, that probably all of them or most of them would vote for Republicans and Trump specifically again. And as Anthony Scaramucci posted the other day, 44 people who worked in senior roles in the first Trump administration came away from that experience warning about the dangers of a second Trump term, including the former vice president. Why are you surprised by any of this? Well, why did 77 million Americans ignore the dumpster fire and all of the warnings about the first Trump regime? Eddie Glaude, who is a Princeton professor, and I don't always agree with him in a lot of areas, but I do think he made an excellent point when he was on with Nicole Wallace the other day on MSNBC.
I don't know what it's going to take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice. And the choice that they've made, we have to just be honest, is to literally throw the Republican to the trash bin. And this is just one example. The tariffs is another, right? They made the choice. Now, what was behind it? We have to grapple with it because it's the snake. It's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman. So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
Yeah, I said it on election night that this was never about the price of eggs. It has always been about racism and misogyny. Full stop. And it's not just black women, although that is a double penalty in MAGA's racist world. It's women, period. This regime is literally erasing women from government documents, from science. Like the word woman Or women, you can't use it now. At DEI, the word women is woke. Like, and there's no clearer example of the misogyny coming straight from the top than Pete Hegseth, the unqualified, drunken fool who paid off the woman who accused him of raping her. Now, as Trump's Secretary of Defense, he of the group texting war plans to everybody on an unsecure Signal chat is erasing women in command at all levels of the military, starting with the 4 stars. Under President Biden, there were 4 women who held 4-star ranks. As of yesterday, there are now 0 because Pete Hegseth fired the last one, Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatsworth.
High-ranking female military officers to be fired by this administration. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata joins me now. Charlie, who is she? Why does this matter? What's the broader context?
Oh, Major, the official line from Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell this morning is that she was dismissed due to a loss of confidence in her ability to lead, which is sort of Pentagon speak for just because. So there was no further comment. She was the top U.S. official on, not just female official, U.S. official on NATO's military committee. She had been singled out. She's put on a sort of woke list that has been put together by a conservative group because of comments she's made in the past, promoting diversity, which of course Defense Secretary Hegseth has said repeatedly that diversity, or at least the sort of pursuit of diversity, weakens the forces. So she was the only woman on a panel of 32 representatives on that NATO committee, and again, the highest ranking, not just female, highest ranking U.S. official there.
First, this is not surprising coming from the white nationalist, misogynistic predator that Pete Hegseth is. Here he is a couple years ago on a right-wing podcast, giving his opinion on women in the military.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated.
I mean, honest to God, it freaking kills me. It hasn't made us more effective. This loser, this former Fox Weekend host, couldn't hold a candle to someone like Vice Admiral Chatsworth or Admiral Lisa Franchetti or any of the women or people of color whom he has fired. I guarantee none of them ever group texted war plans out on Signal that put the lives of our military pilots on the line. And if they did, they would have been court-martialed. After that, fired. No, in this dystopian world, Hegseth and his white broskies get to stay in power, where according to Politico, they apparently have multiple group chats on Signal set up, which goes against the National Archives rule, where you're supposed to maintain all forms of communication. But this is the Trump regime where you just disappear not only people, but documents too.
To take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice. And the choice that they've made, we have to just be honest, is to literally throw the Republic into the trash bin.
Yeah, rather throw the Republic in the dumpster bin and watch it burn than vote for a woman. Here's Hegseth and Fox's Stuart Varney a decade ago ripping Hillary Clinton to shreds for the cardinal sin of using a private email server, which now just seems quaint.
Divulging the secrets of our nation at the very highest level, that person would be in prison. There would be outrage across the board. But here, it's covered up. It's incredible.
No, the double standard is incredible. Imagine if it was, I don't know, Donald Trump, what the media would be doing to him right now, eviscerating him. Or imagine if it was a member of the military, which we've seen from General Cartwright and General Petraeus. They still go after these guys for a tiny, tiny fraction of what she willfully did and betrayed her country in doing so, supposedly for convenience, but actually so she could have a different set of standards and hide her conduct and the conduct of the Clinton Foundation, Benghazi, everything else, so she could stay away from and above the law. And it turns out foreign services want to know what our Secretary of State thinks. And in this instance, they did whatever they could to break an unsecure server in her basement. It tells you everything you need to know.
Wait a second. It's actually worse than that.
I mean, the double standards are just gross. You know, I didn't even accept how bad the misogyny was in this country until the last election. I was devastated when Hillary Clinton lost. But when two incredibly qualified women are tossed aside for a convicted felon, a mob boss, an adjudicated rapist twice, that tells you everything you need to know about America's hatred of women. Yeah. And it's not just Republicans. Misogyny is rooted in our American systems. But for Republicans, misogyny is part of their brand appeal. And our military, our medical communities, our public education, our laws are far less secure now because of it, because of Republicans. They own this. And I don't know how you can be MAGA and profess or tell yourself that you truly love your daughter, your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, or your wife, because their policies are not policies of love and inclusion. 77 million Americans hate women so much that they would rather burn the whole house down than let a woman, and especially a woman of color, save it. It's just, I feel like just consistently women, we're just not seen. We're second or third class citizens. And it breaks my heart. Like, what more do we have to do other than to be qualified, educated, proven track records? And yet still that just, we get passed over. It's extremely frustrating. And I don't know, like Eddie Glaude was saying, what more has to be done? The entire economy burnt down, a dictatorship where we lose our freedoms and our rights. Is that what it takes for people to wake up and realize that women have value? It's devastating. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll put my socials down below. Please follow me on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok, and soon Substack. I've got my Substack up and running, just getting it going. But remember, righteous anger is good. Fear is contagious, but so is courage. So let's be courageous and let's fight. Let's fight for women. Let's fight for our country. Let's fight for each other. Okay? Peace.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.